So, all right, let's talk about the information functions okay, now. And these information functions provide information about whether a column has a blank value in it or not, or what data type is it? Is it a number data type? Is it a text data type? Or is it a Boolean, right? Yes or no, or true or false, right? And the isError function, with that we can check whether the expression returns any error. In case of error, how we can handle it, right? The isError function, these functions are very much helpful to handle the error. Okay, handle the error. The isError function, is logical, is number text. These functions are helpful to to check whether given column or given variable is numeric variable or text variable or logical Boolean variable. Okay. So we will start off with this blank, is blank. For example, I just go here, information functions, and these are the functions we have seen it. For example, I have a column called, I just go to my data view. The data view, we will go and check it. For example, here I have sales by customer. This is a very good thing. Okay, here what we will do is, I'm going to check is blank, right? Is blank. Okay. I'm going to create a new column here. So here I just say is blank. For example, is blank customer's name. If it is true, what you do is you just put blank. Else, customer's name. Blank is a function. You need to specify like this. Okay. Oh, okay. Is blank will not give this one. Sorry. Okay. Here, if condition only, you can use it. Is blank. Okay. And let us see what happens. I just check if this column has any blank value. For that, I'm going to create a new column here, right? And it says, we don't see any blank value here. Supposing you have any blank value here, it will return true. But you might be wondering, here there is a blank space, but still it is not giving true, it is giving false. So when it comes to the text data type, it considers the empty string. So if it is a blank value in the case of text data type, it will consider an empty string. It is not considered a blank value. So that also we will check it out. So is blank, and okay, for that is empty. We have something called is empty function. Look here, is empty table. Okay, it gives me the table only, but it is not giving for the column name. It is, we don't see anything available for is empty. Okay. Okay, and is empty is not available. Okay. Okay, now what I do is, so now you remember this one. In the case of text data type, if a column has a text data type, even though if there are any blank values or that, it will not be considered a blank, it will be considered as a empty text. That's why it is giving false. Otherwise, it would have given true. Okay. That I will prove it. Don't worry. Okay. So when we can use that one. So that I will show you now here. And if okay, logical test. If is blank of customer's name, I just close this one because is blank is a function. Look here, followed by the is blank, the open parenthesis, you need to end this one because it's a function. Inside the function, we need to specify the column name. Okay, the next one is, I just say blank here. Okay, and blank function or else customer name. So last time I did not use if function. Okay, the customer name column, same column name I have given. For example, I just give I should have changed the name of this column. I just renamed it now. Okay, so now what happened? I'm using a if condition. If this column has any blank value in it, you just put blank, else display the customer name. Okay, it is displaying, it is putting the blank here, but we are not able to see. Or else what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, I don't know whether any is available. I don't remember any. Null is also not available. Any. Okay, blank, we will use blank function. Okay, if it is a blank, we are going to specify blank. Here it is not showing anything. Okay, and I just go back to this column is blank. Let me just say here customer name, column 1, right? So let us see if this one returns any. I know it is considering that as a string. The end of the input was ignored. Okay, here I mentioned so many square bracket. Even in this case, it gives me the same thing, column 1. So though I replaced the blank, first of all, it is not detecting any blank value in this column, the blank function. Okay. So now what I am going to do is I'm going to say if the customer sales by column 1 is empty string. Let us see what, okay, empty string is not going to work. That one we will leave it now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test the same thing with the sales column. Okay. And we will see if any luck with the sales column, new column. So in this case, it is working fine. Look here, the sales is a numeric value. Okay. And it is a integer whole number, right? So this is not a blank. Is blank? Is this value blank? No. Is this value blank? No. This is a blank. Yes, it is returning true. And this is a blank, else it is returning true, right? So true, something like that. If for example, if I want now, by checking, by using the is blank function, we can find out which all records we have blank values in it. So against the blank records, it display true. Okay. So next, what am I going to do with this one, right? So for example, if is blank, you put it 0 here, else sales. So what is going to happen? Can you guys guess now what is going to happen? If this column has any blank value, okay, so blank function is detecting the blank values here, right? That is what we can say, true. So the simply if you use a blank function, is blank function, it returns the Boolean value, whether you have blank value here. No, false. Okay, this is not a blank value, it's a non-blank value. It's a blank value, it returns true. Now what I do is I use a if condition. If blank value is there, okay, displaying true or false, what am I going to do with this, right? I need to take you to the next level. Wherever the blank values are there, you replace it with 0. Else, you leave the value as it is. Okay, I just press enter. So now you understood. So it replaces the blank value by 0. So in that case, the is blank function is very much helpful along with the if condition. we are able to successfully replace the blank value by zero. Now the question is, okay, what is the big deal? So I can go to the Power Query editor and I can right click on the column and say replace the blank by zero. I can type it, right? So you can type it, but you need to open your report and you need to right click on it and you need to change it. For example, this report has 10 records. Tomorrow I'm going to add another 10 records. 10 plus 20 records. What is the assurance in the next 10 records I will not have blank values in the sales column? Okay, so what I do is I write programmatically, I'm going to specify in case the sales column has any blank values, you replace the blank value by zero programmatically. Even if you upload 10 records after 1 month in this report, this condition will apply on the newly newly added values. It goes and checks on that newly added records, and on the fly dynamically it replaces. Even in the case of even in future, if you get any blank value in the sales column, it replaces it by zero. Got it? If you don't replace it by zero, what will happen is, and if you try to change from one data type to another data type, and it will cause some error and all. Okay, so in that kind of situation, this is very much helpful. You remember in the previous session, we have seen in the sales column as a text data type, and also it has an NA values in it. So in the case of Power Query Editor, any blank values are there, it will replace fill the blank value by NA. Okay, after I remove the text value, and then I had to manually go and replace the NA by zero, right? So instead, programmatically dynamic. This is very dynamic. In this case, you don't have to open your report. Simply you schedule this report in your Power BI cloud service for a incremental refresh, so that every day data, if you want to load it into this report, you can refresh it on a daily basis or weekly basis. You can refresh the data. As and when the new data gets added, the same condition will get applied for not only these values, for the newly included values also. Now you understood how effective these functions, right? The is blank function. Now first you understood is blank function will return. It will evaluate whether a column has a blank value or not. Wherever the blank value is, for that it will display true. And then we took it to the next level by combining the is blank with if function. With this we are able to do this one. Okay, fine. Okay, next one is I'm going to say I'm going to create a new column. In this case, I'm going to use isError function. isError function. Here, what I do is, in this case, if I divide sales by units, okay, let me do one thing here. In this case, we don't have values here, right? Okay. Ideally, I should have put some value here, and here I should not have put any value. isError. Okay, simply if you specify isError units sold. IsError simply value. Okay, so the units sold, whether the unit sold column has any error value in it or not. If you want to check it out, you can check it out. Here we don't see any error, hence it will say we don't see any error, hence it put false. In case of any error, it will display for true. Okay, so when this function is really helpful, apart from checking whether it has an error or not. For example, you are dividing let's say you are dividing a numerator by denominator. Okay, you divide a value by a denominator. The denominator has zero in it. Anything divided by zero will become infinity, right? So that is an error. There are situations in the denominator you can get a zero also, right? So in that case, you go and check it dynamically. If error is, in case of that expression returns error, what you do is you replace it with some zero. Okay. Okay, here is error. What I am going to do is, okay, I just leave it as it is. I just go to the, to help you understand this, I will put some dummy data here. What I do is I replace null by uh, null by, okay, here I don't want to do it because okay, there is a problem here. Let me go and check this file, and if I find anything here, okay, sales by customer, I just go and make some changes to this data set. That one, sales by customer, sales by customer. Yeah, this is the one. Here, what I do is in the sales column, I put some value here. For example, 320. That's it. I just save it. And I just made a change to this Excel file. How do I reflect the change which I made it in the Excel file into my Power BI desktop? How can I do that? I have included 320 somewhere here in the sales, right? Just click on the refresh. Guys, please go through on it. Start prepare it. Click on refresh because the interview is not that easy job. See, clearing the interview and getting placed is the biggest challenge. Once you get placed, and for the first 6 months, you have to work hard in a project, okay? And then you can, you can relax. 320, look here, this is a new value which I included it. So now I want to find out the price for let you know each product. Okay, each person's whatever they purchased it. We have the unit sold and sales. Sales divided by unit sold. Let's assume that it will give some price. Okay, and in this case, what will happen? The sales divided by price. The unit sold is not there. Blank value is there. Hence, what will happen is it's something like 320 divided by 0, right? You will end up infinity. In that case, we can use ease error, right? So here what I do is in this column, I'm going to change the logic here. And here I'm going to say is error sales by customer sales divided by units sold. Units sold. Okay, here I am going to use this column because already we filled with the blank by 0, right? So sales by customers. Okay, sales column blank. Instead of this, I'm going to use the column which I already pre-processed, sales column blank. Now you understood, right? It is not that easy, guys, the data transformation. So when you get something like this, you need to do a lot of transformation. Okay, and this one divided by units sold. In this case, 320 is there. 320 divided by the unit sold is blank value, right? In that case, for example, here I also am going to put this condition. I just is blank sales by customer unit sold. You put it 0, else sales by customer unit sold. Okay, is blank, we cannot do anything. Again, we need to use if condition, right? So that is the one problem. Is blank of unit sold, hence you put it 0, else you understand. See, now it is increasing. The logic is getting complicated, right? Little bit complicated. What we are checking is, in the case of units sold, any blank value is there, replace it with the 0, and then, or else you leave it as it is. See, in this case, we don't have blank, simply leave it as, don't do anything. Wherever the blank value is there, replace with 0 in the denominator. That's what we are doing it. The numerator, already we have replaced the blank values by 0. Okay. And now what I do is, when it comes to this row, 320 divided by 0 will come. In that case, it will return true. Is error will return true for that row. Got it? Look here. So 320 divided by 0, hence it returns true. Got it? Is error function, how to use. Okay, now the question is, how do I fix this? Okay, now it is returning true, but it is not solving my problem. What can I do? So in that case, what to do is use another if condition. If is error of this one, you replace it with the comma 0, else you need to put the same condition again here. If is error, okay, here also ideally I should have used it here. Anyhow, not a problem. So because the division, right? If the division of this one, okay, see, little bit complicated, right? So if this error is getting closed here and 0, else I'm going to say, for example, for the sake of simplicity, I just put unit sold. So now what I did, I handled the error, right? So here 320 divided by 0 will return infinity. If that returns infinity, this column will become error. If that becomes error, this one will fail, the job will fail. Okay, let's say, you don't think whatever the data I uploaded, the sales by customer in this one is one-time job. Let's say every day, this file data will come. Next day, 20 records are there. When you upload it, you need to check this one. While uploading it, if it does the same, if you simply do, right, the sales divided by units sold, what will happen is, in the next data set, similar, if you get a similar situation, 320 divided by 0, error. So in that case, that next 15 records will not get loaded. You understood? Job will fail. So in the real-time scenario, we are not dealing with 10 records or 100 records. We are dealing with millions and millions of records. Daily transaction itself, millions and millions of records are coming in. In that case, if you don't handle the error, let's say today's data should get refreshed. Yesterday, up to yesterday, this data is there. Today we have 1 million records are there. Today, 1 million records. When you click on the refresh, what will happen? The 1 million records will get loaded here, the new records. While loading it, it applies this condition, because in this column you have written this logic, right? Simply you have written up to this one, what will happen? The units sold, sales divided by units sold is 0. So anything that is 0, error. The 1 million records, whatever the today's data, right? Whatever the today's data will not get, the 1 million records will not get loaded just because of one error. The entire job will fail. In real-time scenario, job failure is a very, very critical one. Okay, all the jobs should get completed on time. In case of error also, you ignore it and load it. So we will track that error later point in time. Once the data is in place, so in that kind of situation, we can use is error function. And so look here, the logic keep increases. Ideally, we need to put it like this, okay? And I just replace this one with this one. So in this case, in case of error, if this returns, error, you can put it 0 instead of, leaving it as replace the error by error, replace it by 0. So 0 will not cause any problem. Simply it will put 0. And the next question is, okay, sir, in case of error, it should get populated with error, if it overwrite the error as 0, how will I find out the error? How will I find out in the later point and where the problem is, right? That is a separate discussion. I don't want to mix up now. We'll discuss this later. Okay. So now you just think, if it is 0, if it is an error, you replace it with 0, or else, there is no error, right? Simply what you do is you just put it this one, okay, and simply put this condition. Got it? So now, in case of if numerator divided by denominator, if the denominator is 0, okay, then instead of it will create an error. Instead of error, you replace that with 0. Otherwise, okay, there is no error, right? So then the non-error values will, in the sense, in the denominator, there is no 0 will come here, okay. And again, I'm checking here, is blank, right? This is thing. Now you understood. If you want to complicate this, you can complicate in real-time scenario. To prevent errors while loading the data, new data, you need to do a lot of checks and balance like this. You need to implement the logic like this, okay. Now you understood what is error and is blank. In case of any blank values, it return true. In case of any error, it will return true. And okay, returning true or false is not going to helpful, but how we can use it in real-time scenario. In this kind of scenario, you can use it like this. Okay, it is already 10:40. So we started by 9:30, right? So 10:30. Okay, now I thought of showing. And similarly, right? So for example, you have the customer name and you can create a new column, is text. Wherever a text is there, it will return true. Okay. And for you, the assignment is, right? So you need to find out, you need to replace the empty string by null value. How you do it? Okay, that is what the assignment. I just repeated in the text. This is a text data type. In this column, it is not considered the blank value. If you are, in case of any empty value is there, it is not considered blank. Using is blank function, if I check it, it is not returning true. Okay, that means it considers a empty string. So now my question to you is, how will you replace the empty string by some value? How can you do that? That you need to check it out. Okay. And similarly, is logical. With this one, I'm going to wrap up. Don't worry. So I just go and create a new column. So we have a Boolean data type. Active column is a Boolean data. What is a Boolean data type? Boolean data type will have only either the true or false in it. So here the Boolean, okay, Boolean, I think, is logical. To check how to use is logical, I'm going to use the active column, sales customer active in this table. 1 second. So here is logical. There is a is logical function is available, and you can use that one. Look here, this is true, right? True is a logical function. Yes, this is also a logical function, true, but here it's a blank value and it returns false, right? So true, true. Anything true or false, it will return true. For in the case of true and false, right, it will return true only because we are checking, is this a logical value? Yes, it's a logical value. True or false is the logical values, and the blank values, it returns false. This is the one you need to remember it. And guys, just 1 second, just hang on. I just start of showing you another logical function here. The country name. Okay. I just go here, information functions. We explored all the information functions and the logical functions. I thought of showing this one. Let me just and measure. So if you want to use, you have and or not. These are the functions that are related to your logical. If 10 is greater than 9 and minus 10 is less than minus 1. So if these two conditions are true, right? then all true, else return false. If condition, right? If is a function, the first argument should return either true or false, right? So here what we have done, we have used the and outside of the expression, right? Followed by the and, I mentioned these two conditions. If these two conditions are true, then you return true. For example, if I specify, okay, this is, let's say 10 is not, 10 is less than 9. 10 is less than 9, false, right? Only if the two conditions are true, then it will return true. But of these two, if any one of the condition is false, in this case, this is false, hence it will return this value. This is how we can use and. Look here, one or more false, right? Because in these, so when you use and, all the conditions should be true. But here this condition is true, but whereas this condition is not true, hence it returns this one. This is what and the thing, okay? And the next one is if error. If error we have already seen. See in the denominator, if anything 0, don't throw error. Instead, you put 999. So look here, this is how we use it in real-time scenario. If the denominator is 0, we simply don't replace it with 0. Instead, we put 999. So in that case, in case of any error, to overcome the error, right? So what we are doing is don't replace the value as error. Instead, you put 999. Instead of putting 0, put 999. So later point in time, wherever 999 is there in my column, those columns created problem, right? It creates some error. So in that case, if you do some kind of research, you will get to know, okay, the sales divided by units sold. In the denominator, units sold, we got 0 value. Hence, we put 99. Why we got 0 in the units, the units, number of units? Then you will go and check with the source system people. Now you understood, right? So now we got answer for that one. And we have a switch function, guys. Please bear with me. With this, I'm going to wrap up. Okay, this is very much important. I have something called country ID is not there. Okay, let me just go to the sales fact is not there. Here I don't have the country ID. Instead, I have the country name. That is a problem. I created another file because of the hurry. I forgot everything. Okay, let me do one thing. Is logical, is text. Okay, so what I just show you some other example. Instead of using this column, country ID column, I just show you something else. And okay, with that we will wrap up. Okay, I don't know why I caught up the. Okay. Here I just go and create a new column. So this is my sales data set. Look here, sales W04. I'm going to create a new column. So here I just say sales rank. Okay, I just say something like sales rank. Here I'm going to use a switch function. Switch function is very much helpful because this switch function, with this you can write multiple nested if else condition in a very simple way. Okay, true. For example, in this case, if the sales is if the sales is less than let's say less than 1,000, I say is going to be low sales. So we are going to create some bucketing. Okay, and again here again you don't have to check, you don't have to write if else condition, right? In the case of if else, we do it that way, right? So sales is greater than 1,000. Look here, I'm going to use ampersand, double ampersand, and condition sales W04 Here I'm going to use sales is less than 2000. I just call this as medium sales. Okay, with this I'm going to close it and I'm going to press enter. The following syntax error, offset 100. Okay, here I did not put double quotes here. I started with double quote. I did not I did not end with double quote. Look here in the sales rank column, and the sales is, in this case, the sales is greater than 1000, less than 2000 here. Look here, hence it replaces that with medium. Look here, this is the condition, right? If the sales is greater than 1000, less than 2000, you can use medium. And then if the sales value is less than 1000, look here, this is the one, right? So in this case, it puts low here. Similarly, you can write one more condition. For that, you can specify if the sales value is greater than 2000 or greater than or equal to 2000, that is your high value. So with this, I'm going to wrap up. I know you are all feeling tired. Sales W04. W04, in that you will put sales. If the sales is greater than or equal to 2000 or above, we are going to say it is a high sales. If you want to, based on some condition, if you want to if you want to test multiple conditions one go, we can use switch. If you use if condition, what will happen? You need to write multiple if else conditions. Look here, everything got filled now because the second record is more than 2000 and it is high. It got filled. Now you understood how to use the switch function. The using switch for condition, the value is equivalent to, so this value is equivalent to something is simple. Okay. So in this case, right, if the condition is true, switch, the first argument is true. And second argument, what you are doing is, you are just checking the condition. If this is less than 1000, you replace this value. If it is greater than this and, right, less than 2000. So in case of and, you can use double ampersand. In case of or, you need to use pipe symbol. Like all the other programming language, how we use it, the same way you use it, okay? That's it. So now you understood how to use switch function. Switch falls under the logical functions. Okay, we have something called logical functions. The logical functions we have already seen, if error and all, we have already seen it, and or not. So and we can use double ampersand, or we can use pipe symbol. Not we can specify as a not itself. Okay. Next one is the text function. Okay, and that we will see it later. And I thought of completing it today, this one. Anyhow, we will carry forward this to next Tuesday. Till then, you can review all the topics, whatever I covered from the beginning to till today. Okay, and this upcoming Tuesday, we will have a Q&A session. I'm going to ask questions. Let me see how comfortable you are in terms of answering the value. And followed by that, I'll continue the count functions, count family function, average functions, sum functions, and then we will get into the crux of DAX functions. What is calculated column? What is measure and all? Okay. So, okay, thanks for all your patience. Sorry, in between a lot of disturbances, right? So you can watch my video, however, okay, and you can start refresh all the topics, whatever I covered as of today, okay?